Crimes Bureau. The reason we're here today is to talk about the unfortunate incident that occurred early Sunday morning on October 30th, 2022, a little before 4 a.m. at the Sheetz gas station located on Cassidy Avenue. To recap what took place, it was around 3:50 in the morning. Columbus patrol officers were dispatched to 1485 North Cassidy Avenue on a report of a shooting. When the officers arrived, they located several individuals at the scene. Sadly, one of the individuals was later identified as Kevin Sabnoski, was suffering from what we believe is a gunshot wound. Kevin was transported to a local area hospital, and sadly he was pronounced deceased. Our detectives were notified, our homicide detectives were notified, they responded to the scene, and they initiated their investigation into this incident. Where we're at right now, they've been working around the clock, have been putting in a lot of effort. And where we're at right now is that we have identified several individuals that we believe, that we know were at the scene as either being involved or may have witnessed something. And we want to speak with those individuals. And those are the pictures here to my right. So what we are asking for is for the community to help us out. If you know any of these individuals, there's several ways you can get a hold of us, and I will give you those telephone numbers, and we'll make sure that's provided for everyone to see. They can call in, one being Crime Stoppers at 614-461-TIPS, that's 8477 is the last four numbers. They can call our homicide number, which is 614-645-4730. And lastly, you can call our lead detective, Detective Polgar, 614-774-7810. The other option is for these individuals, if they're watching, to get a hold of us, get a hold of Detective Polgar, and let us speak with you and let us find out what occurred, and that will help us progress this investigation. So with that being said, any questions that I could answer?
How would you describe this shooting? It seems from what we've learned from the incident report and whatnot that the 20-year-old man was an innocent bystander who maybe got caught up in something else that he had nothing to do with. Is that accurate?
It is. The individual, as I talked about, Kevin, he was with three other individuals. They are adult males that were with him. They were from out of town. Kevin, being an individual from Youngstown, Ohio, what we know is that he was a valedictorian of Girard High School. He was an athlete, and he was on the dean's list at Youngstown State University. And they just happened to be coming through Columbus, were visiting, and prior to heading back, they were pulling into the Sheetz gas station. And unfortunately, some individuals who made some reckless and serious bad decisions were shooting guns, and Kevin was struck, and then he ended up being pronounced and lost his life.
What seems like a completely innocent guy who had everything going for him in life.
Everything at this point, from what we know, is he had nothing to do with this incident. It was a matter of being in the, if you want to say, the wrong place, the wrong time.
So this is a pretty large group of suspects or people of interest. Do you have any idea of what might have precipitated the gunfire, or what actions they might have taken leading up to this?
Yeah, we're still looking into that, and I think right now it kind of leads us to why we want to speak to these individuals, to provide some information, give us the idea of what took place. We have some things that we're looking into, and it sheds some light, but it doesn't paint the whole picture. And so that's why we need to talk to these individuals, and that's why we're asking for either these individuals to reach out to us, or somebody at least identify who they are so we can go speak to them.
So these individuals, some of them are connected, some of them are witnesses. Who's who? So we make sure we identify, can you do that, or are you still sorting it all out?
I think the responsible thing right now is we know that they were there, but what role they played, we're still trying to work into, and that's going to be part of the investigation. So I think, there's no charges at this point. However, if we can speak to them, I think we can, or at least we know who they are, I think that's going to help us start progressing the investigation. So to tell you that, one person is a witness, one person is a suspect, that's too early right now, but these are the individuals that we've at least identified were there. We just need to know what their complete role was.
So you're looking to talk to all of them, basically, is what you can say?
Absolutely.
A member of the FOP described this homicide as a wild shootout at a gas station. Would you classify it as such?
I guess I would refer you back to them. If they, We're speaking on, absolutely. We know that there were multiple people shooting guns and firing, and unfortunately this individual lost his life. So I guess I would just characterize it as individuals that made some really bad decisions. And unfortunately, this is what we're now investigating. But I guess I would assure the public that we have some great detectives that are putting a lot of work, and we're going to hopefully bring some justice for this family and this individual.
So is it two groups, or did they come together, or is it like they started fighting after arriving together, or is that clear yet?
Right now, I think the best part is we know that there was multiple people there. Who was associated with who, I think we're still trying to work that out.
Yeah, are you able to say what happened moments before the shooting happened? How long were they there? What was developing?
Yeah, that part I'm not able, I can't disclose that right now. We're still trying to look into that. That's probably the better way of putting it, is that we are looking into that, and I think that's where maybe these individuals can shed some light on that.
Xander, can I just ask your personal frustration of this seemingly innocent kid just getting gas and getting caught in the middle of this? You should be able to get gas safely.
Yeah, well, it is frustrating. It's frustrating in any of these, we have these press conferences every so often, and unfortunately, no matter which case it is, it's frustrating and it's sad because some individual lost their life, the family lost a loved one, and that's where it's at, and then now somebody's grieving. So I guess yes, there is a level of frustration, but I think what we're trying to do is, at least from my perspective, we try to show as much support, let our detectives do their job. And they have a very hard job, and we're going to try to continue to let them do their part so they can bring justice to the family like we talked about. Yes?
You said Kevin was there with some friends. What have they told you about what happened?
It's a good question. The detectives are still working through that right now, and I think that's something that will be part of the investigation. And when the time is appropriate, that'll probably come out.
So Crime Stoppers is involved. Is it their typical reward, or is there anything above and beyond than what's usually offered?
No, so right now what we're asking is for people to call that number if they have it. There's no reward at just this point. But right now, I think between the numbers that we called, either Crime Stoppers or Detective Polgar or homicide number, it's the right thing to do. Some people may be hesitant. I spoke on this before. Some people may not want to. They might not feel comfortable talking to the police. However, it's the right thing to do. And I ask, if this is your loved one, if this is your family member, how would you want the community to respond, and how would you want the police to handle this situation?
So what ties did Mr. Sabnoski have to the area? He was just driving through? Was he visiting? What was the situation?
Yeah, so what we understand is that they were just visiting, out of town. We're here in the area, and as they were preparing to go back, they stopped here at the Sheetz gas station, and again, kind of in that wrong place at the wrong time.
Will this be like digitally available anywhere, this graphic?
So I'll get with our public information unit, but we will make sure you guys will have everything you guys need to present this on your news stations.
Do you know if everybody here is from the Columbus area, or could they be traveling or in and out, or do you have any tips or any information? Has anything come in already about these dozen people?
So right now we're asking everybody for assistance, and so I think it's not knowing who each individual is yet. I think it could be that they could be from different places. We'll know that hopefully as we identify them, but right now we just don't know.
I'm guessing this is photographs are taken from inside Sheetz from their security cameras or surveillance cameras. Whatever, is there video available that's?
Yeah, so you're correct. So these pictures, these are surveillance videos that we have, and it's been a good partnership, and again, very helpful, and hopefully that'll help again progress the investigation. As more items are available, we will make sure that you guys have that when we can.
Can you say how many shots were fired? Because it sounds like we heard a lot of gunfire.
Yeah. I don't know the exact number, Steve. I'll have to look into that and get back with you.
We talked to the deputy chief last week, and he had commented that more people have been willing to come forward with the information on several homicide cases. Are you hoping, especially when people hear what happened in this case, that it will compel them to come forward?
Yeah, I hope people just do it because it's the right thing to do. There have been investigations. We've had a lot of help from the community, and again, we thank everybody who's stepped up and done that. We hope that continues. We also have great officers. We have great crime analysts, detectives who are also working and try to identify too. So it's really a community effort. It's a combined effort, and again, we're appreciative of all that. We hope it continues because ultimately, for the family and every family out there, we want to hold any of the individuals that might be responsible. We want to bring them to justice and hold them accountable. Any other questions for myself? Okay, all right. Thank you.